Let us dive into today's class. Today it's going to be a funny ride. We will be seeing yesterday I've just given an overview of JavaScript. Like JavaScript is a programming language. It is loved by everyone. This is what I have said to you. But today we are actually gonna see what is JavaScript. If possible, we are gonna code. We are gonna code JavaScript. So how the session is going to go be like, first again I'll be giving an introduction of what today's class is going to be. The theme of the class is JavaScript. What our primary goals are to be, I'll be set up for you. Our primary goals will be like, first we'll be learning about intro to JavaScript. Then we will see why it is a dynamically typed language. Yesterday I have used this word dynamic language. I'll tell you why we call it a dynamically typed language. What is the need for JavaScript? I'll tell you a small story, like why JavaScript was introduced and all, and why it is loved by programmers and why it is popular. We will see this part. Then we will see client server cycle. Client server is nothing but, yesterday I have talked about client and server. The same thing again I'm gonna talk today. Why it is usable for front end part, interactivity, how users interact with JavaScript and all. There is something called Ajax. We use it for asynchronous purposes. But nowadays Ajax is no one uses that much. We have other ways of doing Ajax. I'll talk about Ajax also. Next, what is cross-browser compatibility, which is nothing but for example, you can open YouTube in Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Opera, Brave browser, like Mozilla Firefox. You can use different browsers to open a youtube.com. So website works in different browsers. That is nothing called cross-browser compatibility. I'll talk about it. What are plugins, frameworks, comes regarding to programming. How JavaScript is used in backend. What is something called JavaScript engine? Every browser has some JavaScript engine. I'll talk about that also. Next, we're gonna do an activity like match the following activity. Then we'll talk about variables. What is a variable and all? I'll talk at that time. Next, again an activity of coding practices. We'll see data types, type conversions, and that will be the end. Type conversions will be the end of this class. At the end again, we'll do some code practices. So this is what we are gonna do. Just a summary kind of thing. I'm giving it to an overview. So yeah, let's dive then. I think I've set it up the theme. Today's theme is JavaScript, and you should already know Node.js. You should have an IDE and Node.js installed, which you have already done. The theme is set. The primary goals are clear. If not, let me know. So JavaScript programming part I've told you. Yeah, before all this part, before saying what is there here and all, I'll talk about few things. Let me show you a website. First website ever created. I'll tell you why JavaScript created. Like why in the actual first place, why JavaScript is created, I'll tell you. I just need that link. Yeah. So this is the first website ever created by our mankind. This is the first website that was hosted in internet. This was the first ever website built. What do you think of this website? Do you, if this kind of website was built today, will you use it? Like, I'm just asking a normal question. This kind of answers you can put it in chat. Don't use Q&A for this kind of things. What do you think? Do you use this kind of website if I have built today? Like if a designer comes, if you build this kind of website, do you use it? No, right? Obviously no. Because we need colorful websites, stylish websites, interactive websites. Then only we use it. Otherwise, this kind of websites, even if it is informative, we don't care if this happens. So earlier websites used to be like this. Earlier websites, Even if you see YouTube pretty earlier, it used to look something like this. So what developers did, right, they thought of, okay, we have HTML. Since we need styling, we have created CSS. Now HTML is there, CSS is there, but we need to have some interactivity. We need to have some user interactivity. Like if a user clicks on something, a new design coming, pop-ups coming, taking input from the user. Like they have thought it in different ways. Then they have introduced a concept, a programming language called JavaScript. Then they have introduced a programming language called JavaScript. That is how, because of that idea, JavaScript was born. Those developers, like W3 developers, they came together. They thought, okay, our website designing should have our own programming language. Let's call it JavaScript. So then this ideology came, JavaScript. JavaScript, what it does, like it gave life to websites. It's like literal life to a website. Without JavaScript, website looks like a, what we say, it just looks like a dead body. It has all the features of a human, but no life. The same thing to this website also. It has information. It has a bit of CSS here and there, like this blue color something, but it has no life. This website is so pale. JavaScript gives life to a website. That is why we use JavaScript. And one example, yeah, Facebook at starting, it built on PHP, but we all know when it used PHP how problematic it was. Then they have transferred their code to JavaScript. From PHP, they have converted themselves to JavaScript. Now you open Facebook and see how stylish it will be. You open, I'll give you a website. There is a website called Wayback Machine. It's a pretty, what we say, fun website. I usually give it to my batch students. It's not there in the material. If you want, write it somewhere. There is a website called Wayback Machine. Whenever I have some free time, I use this website for fun. You can type any website like youtube.com, any website. Click on here and click on browse history. You can literally see the website how it was in 2005. For example, in 2005, if I click on this timeline, maybe like July 17. Let's take July 17, 2005. It takes time, but it gets open. So I'm opening it. It will take some time because it has to retrieve the files back. So this is how YouTube used to look like in way back 2005. This is how it used to look like. So it's a pretty fun website. If you want, you can explore. You can see how old website used to look like. So yeah, with the JavaScript, it bought many features. By using all these features, now web pages have become much more alive. So, so by using your JavaScript, we can create interactive web pages. I've talked about it. It is an interpreted language. Interpreted language in the sense it goes line by line. Your computer reads JavaScript line by line, like every single line. For example, if I had a second line here, I'll tell what this is and all. First, it reads the first line, then it reads second line. It's an interpreted language. It goes line by line, and it runs on client system. It runs on client system in the sense, for example, if your client is a mobile user, your web application can open in his Google Chrome in his mobile. If he is using a laptop, it will be opened in a laptop. If he is using a desktop computer, it will be opened in a desktop computer. If he is using a smartwatch, it will be opened in a smartwatch. And nowadays, I have seen it in news. There is something called smart fridges. Smart fridge. I don't know why they're building a screen on a fridge, but there is something called smart fridge. Literally, you can open web applications on that fridge. On the door of that fridge, you can open web applications. So yeah, anywhere. They are limitless. Wherever you want, in contact lenses also, you can open your web applications. So it runs on any client system. And why it is a dynamically typed language, to give example of it, I'll open Visual Studio Code. Dynamic, this is my project, 1 second. So yeah, dynamically typed language in the sense, your JavaScript code helps you out. It understands what you're coding. I'll give you an example. Open file. Let's open that my first file I have created. This one. So let's say, I don't know if any of you used any other programming language before. If any one of you used Python or anything before, maybe Python also is a dynamic one. If anyone used C or Java, you answer, put it in the chat. Can I write? Uh, or else, if some of you don't know C, maybe. So yeah, I'll tell you. I'll give you an example. In other programming languages like Java and all, we have to create a variable like int a equal to 2. Like we have to say that programming language, whether it is a integer, whether it is a number, whether it is a string. I'll tell you what is the string, integer. I'll tell you all these things, but we have to specify what the thing is, whether it is a number or a word or a letter or some diagram or some image. We have to tell it, we have to tell it to that programming language. But in JavaScript, you no need to tell it. You no need to tell it. Just write let a equal to 2, leave it like that. For other languages, we have to specify what you are typing, what you are writing. You have to specify each and everything. But here, you no need to do all those stuff. Just write let a equal to 2. Automatically, JavaScript understands that a is a number. I'll tell you more about this in the in like after a few minutes. I'll tackle more about it, but this is a good example. You no need to write a is a number, a string, a image, or whether it's a video. You don't need to tell anything. Just to say a equal to 2, it automatically understands that it is a number. Like it's a dynamic language. It understands everything. You no need to spoon feed it everything every time. So that's what a dynamically typed language is. It interprets on its own. Here is an example. It's unnecessary to declare the variable type when declaring a variable explicitly. I'll tell you what is a variable is, but this I'm just showing an example. Need for JavaScript. Uh, just now I have answered it. We have like with only HTML and CSS, we have lot of limitations. There is no life in a website. To have a life in a website, you need to have JavaScript. And it's also used for other purposes, like it makes your website faster. It makes your website faster. JavaScript is very fast, not compared to C++. When you compare all programming languages, C++ is very faster. C++ is like Flash. It's very fast. Your the best next one is your JavaScript. But Python is tortoise, trust me. Python is very slow, but it's very good at data handling. For data handling, other than Python, I have never seen a programming language best than Python for data handling. I'm talking about data handling. But for other normal coding things, I would go with C++ or JavaScript. C++ is very hard to learn, trust me. Even still I have doubts, many doubts in C++. JavaScript is easier to learn. So yeah, it becomes very fast. It becomes highly response in the sense, when I click on something, it happens. And JavaScript does not require a compilation step. I already told you, it is an interpretation. It goes line by line and it executes itself. No need of again compiling, checking errors, nothing like that. And you can drop it to any website. You can drop it to any device, any server. You can just put it everywhere. That's what this means. And more than 1.9 billion websites, and 95% of them utilize JavaScript in today's time. Mostly all websites use JavaScript. Without JavaScript, I have not seen a website in recent times. So yeah, it increases functionality. It's all right? It's like a 8-mark answer. The same thing gets repeated here and here. I'm just seeing if anything I'm missing out. Develop web and mobile applications, I told you. Yeah, we can create games, we can create servers, you can create augmented reality, you can create yeah, games and all, anything you can create, mobile applications, you can do all those things with JavaScript. And why it is popular, again the same story, it is versatile in the sense you can use same JavaScript for multiple things, like front end, back end. You can use back end also with the JavaScript. Node.js is nothing but JavaScript. And yeah, we can use anywhere. JavaScript can be used anywhere. Browser compatibility in the sense, if you developed an application in Google Chrome, it will work in Mozilla Firefox. It will work in Microsoft Edge. And also there is a browser called Brave. If you have not installed it, install it. It is a very good browser. You won't get any advertisements. No hacker can hack you using any website when you are using Brave. Your data will be very private. It's not like I'm promoting this Brave browser. This Brave browser is not giving me any money to promote itself. But I have done some research on browsers, like which browser is best and all. My conclusion is Brave is better than all of the other things I saw. Why? Because Brave is a Web3 browser. Web3 browser in the sense it is a very advanced browser. It uses very advanced technology to keep you safe. So yeah, it is decentralized. You can use Brave. Uh, so yeah, you can use it. It's a good website if you can download it. I use Brave. If you can see here, this is my Brave. But the thing is, in Brave browser, it will not allow me to share me the screen. Like AirMeet does not allow me to share me the screen that I'm sharing now. So that is the reason for teaching you, I use Google Chrome. But for my personal things, I use Brave. Yeah, it is free. Brave is free. Next is ease of learning. I told you JavaScript is very easy to learn. You have large community. Lot of developers are like using JavaScript. So if you have any doubt, the community will help you. Regular updates and improvements will be coming to you. Like there are JavaScript still it's refining itself. More versions will be coming. And it is also asynchronous programming in the sense using this programming language JavaScript, you can do multiple tasks at the same time. Multiple tasks at the same time you can perform. Yeah, it is easy, huh? I don't know what is hard. So yeah, roller still here. If anyone have any doubt, you can ask me till this moment. If you have any doubts, put it in Q&A. I'll see Q&A. If you have any doubts till this moment, it's all theory just till now that I've covered, nothing much. But if you have any doubts, let me know. Yeah, it's just like an extension is only available for 24 hours. Is it okay to share? Okay, it is only for 24 hours. Sorry, I missed that thing. It expires in 24 hours, right? Then yeah, it's better to go with Google Drive, I guess. If it expires, maybe they may not see your code in 24 hours. So yeah, code share. I have not seen this. Thanks this actually. I have not seen this expires in 24 hours. So yeah, you can use Google Drive or anything that stays with you instead of then code share. I'm sorry for that. If it expires again, that becomes a problem. This one is answer, sir. We don't want too much knowledge about HTML and CSS. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Shabas. Once you complete JavaScript, when you go to HTML and CSS, I think I'll be taking it. I'll see that you get HTML and CSS too good. When compared to JavaScript, HTML and CSS are very easy. You will be getting it so easily. Still, I'm unable to run code on CMD. Devesh, at the end, if time persists, I'll once see it. Or else in Alma Better, like there will be a help option in the right side corner. If you use it, a person will be connected to you. Maybe I may be connected to you or some other may connected to you. You can share your screen and they will help you to run the code. What's the difference between interpreter and compiler? Compiler will read your entire code at once. It will not go line by line code. It will just see it from longer distance. It will just read the entire code at once, then it will start executing. But interpreter is not like that. It directly executes line by line. Compilation step will not be there in interpretation. So this one, what is the difference between let and where? I'll tell you at the end, Devi Prasad. Pronunciation is it regarding C++? Maybe, but yeah, I felt a bit hard because of the pointers and all. In my undergraduation, I have done C++. I have cleared the exams and all. That the certification is all over. But now, like in past 2 months back, I think I opened C++ again. I felt it a bit hard. I closed it again. But yeah, because of the pointers and all, maybe I felt difficult. So what do you think about ChatGPT? Will new job will be created? Will job decrease? For now, like if you, in the coming 5 years, it is okay. I personally have seen ChatGPT. I use GPT APIs and all. In the coming 5 years, it is okay because it cannot. It is not able to build an entire application from the user's requirements. But after 5 years, I cannot tell you how the things are going to be. But yeah, for now, like they will not remove any job because of GPT. Why? Because two reasons. One, GPT can be like crashing anytime. For example, if I'm started using, uh, there are two versions. I don't know if you all know it or not. 3.5 and 4. For 4, you have to pay money. For 3.5, you no need to pay money. It is free. 3.5, it is not available sometimes. It will say server is busy, try after some time. If this issue persists, companies will not use it. And also I have seen a small article that the CEO of what we say Open API is not giving APIs for free. If you want to use it, I'm not saying about chat, the chat option. I'm not talking about chat option. If you want to integrate GPT into any website or any code and everything, you need, for every single response you need to pay them money. It is like $0.7. In our Indian currency, it's like 60 rupees for every response. Easily a website makes nearly like 1,000 responses, then you have to pay 1,000 into 60. It becomes a bit costly. So companies are not trying it right now, but maybe in the coming 5 years, I don't know. Is JavaScript case sensitive? Yeah, it is case sensitive. Web3, it's like the next thing of web technology. I'll talk about Web3, not now because others get confused right now. Web3 I'll talk in later classes. Explain the JavaScript definition in short. JavaScript is not, there's no right definition. It is a programming language. It is an interpreted language. It is a dynamically typed language. But if you want the right definition, even I did not by heart something like that. You can see it here. JavaScript is an interpreted high-level programming frequently used to develop dynamic web pages. This is the right definition. But you no need to remember it. Just remember it's a dynamically typed language. It is okay. Uttam, this one I'll take it in LinkedIn. Uttam, like for non-tech background, it is hard. This one I'll talk there. Some problem and how can I use Google? But please clear submission of assignment problem. Assignment problem, I told you that first one is theory, second one is theory, third one that one single line of code. Go to Google Drive, create a Word document, paste it there. That link will be there, right? Google Drive link. Submit the link in here. If you have not understood, Aman, just what I said now, once let me know. I'll repeat. I'll show it to you, something like that. And I'm not uploading. Ramesh, this one, like I'll tell to the management regarding recorded videos. I'll tell you in the next class what the reply was. For community access, I think in Alma Better you have a community access. I think so. Even I don't know properly about it, Hari, but If anyone know about community access, please help Hari to get access in community. Uh, yeah, Aditi is saying like previous classes are available under schedule on Airmate. Yes, there only, yes, there only recording videos will be there. I don't know where others where they are looking, but yeah, recording videos will be there in Airmeet only. In Airmeet, under that schedule, you'll be finding recording videos. So thank you, Aditya, for telling this. So yeah, any more Q&A? If it is possible, can you show how to use Google Drive? Google Drive, you can just go to Drive. Go to Drive. Yeah, this is my Drive. Just create a new, create Google Docs. Whatever you want to write here. Click on Share. Name something. Click on Save. A link will be given to you, or else you can copy this link and put it in your submission link. Google, when you sign in, you'll be seeing something like this: new Google Docs. A document will be opened. Paste it here. Click on Share. A link will be given to you. Paste that link in submission. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, we'll continuing then. Role of JavaScript in our web development and UX part. So this is how a client server architecture usually works. A client is nothing but we, like a computer that we are using or a mobile phone that we are using. Server side is somewhere sitting in Argentina or Atlantica somewhere, in California somewhere. Servers are nothing but a big place where servers will be located. This is how a server looks like. Server stations, or we call them. Yeah, this is how it looks like. A server looks something like this. Yesterday someone told me to zoom in. Oh my god. So yeah, this is how a server looks like. This it is nothing but a big building where all this type of machines will be there, where actual websites will be stored. So our computers will be talking to our computers will be talking to those servers to get our websites. To get the websites, our computer talks to them. Our computer sends a request. Request is nothing but a www.youtube.com, google.com, almabetter.com. That is a request. Response is nothing but the website. Response is nothing but your website, your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript of that website. It will be coming to the browser. Browser understands those things. It renders a website and it will show it to us. So that is your client and server interaction, client and server cycle. Next. So I told you, right, the server sends you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. 3 files. It sends you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If the three files are compiled and executed on the server side, if the compilation happens at the server side, we call it server side rendering. If the same things happen in your computer, then we call it client side rendering. Rendering is nothing but the computational part. If it happens in the server side, we call it server side rendering. It happens in the client side, we call it client side rendering. Can you tell me if you are using a very low end computer or a low end mobile phone, like you're using something like Intel Pentium, which is lesser than i3, and you're using 4 GB RAM, and if you are using no SSD, only 512 GB HDD, server side rendering is better or client side rendering is better? Think and answer my question. Two things are there: server side rendering, client side rendering. Server side rendering means all the computational part, all the calculations, all the logic part will be compiled in the server side. Client side in the sense our device doing all those things. Yeah, server side is better. Server side is better. Why? Because that's why some of the websites, even though they're very like they're having many big animations, they're having like very bigger features, and if you're trying to open in a small phone which is of really like 5,000 or 8,000 rupees phone, but still it runs fast. That is the reason. That is a server side web application. All the computational part is happening on the server side. But there is a drawback of it, not for the user, for the owner. There is a drawback of it. Can you tell me what's the drawback of server side rendering? For user it is okay, for user it is an advantage, but for the owner, but for the person who handles all those servers, there is a disadvantage. Yeah, you all are right. It is like to keep all those servers up and running, the computational cost gets higher, the storage gets higher. So that is the disadvantage of a server side rendering. Now we'll talk about client side rendering. Let's take a website. What kind of website shall we take? Amazon. Let's take Amazon. Wait. Amazon also does the same thing. Partially it does client and partially it does server. Any good website I'm thinking? Yeah. Think of a gaming website. I don't know if you all have seen anytime played games on internet. I don't know. Have you ever opened a gaming website? A gaming website. Not it will not be connected to a server. Like when you open a gaming website, game it says loading, and it takes some time. When you play it on your side, it based on your computer it takes. That is called a client side rendering. What client side rendering? This kind of game, mainly because of this gamings and all. If you take bigger gaming companies like Ubisoft and all, or EA, Ubisoft, they have bigger capacities, they can manage. It's okay. They also do partial rendering. They do partial client side, partial server side. But when we're talking about a startup gaming company or a smaller gaming company, yeah, like mini clips and all, they don't have that much money to bear the cost of server side rendering. So they completely put it in client side rendering. So what happens is, if your computer is slow, the game automatically becomes slow. If your computer is fast, the game automatically becomes fast. Based on your internet connection, based on your computer, technology, it behaves. That is called a client-side rendering. And the main differences will be like, here most of the things are done by, already I told you, the server side. Your browser just downloads the already interpreted compiled JavaScript, and it executes, it shows you. Just very straightforward. Server side, already everything will be done. It comes to us, we'll be putting it here. But in client side rendering, it uses something called content delivery network. Content delivery network in the sense, it has to get HTML, it has to get CSS, and it has to get all the supporting files. Then if it is Ajax related dynamic content, it uses Ajax. All the things are done by your browser. Your browser does all these things. That is the reason when you're opening some websites, your browser gets stuck. I don't know if you have experienced this or not. When you open some particular website, your browser gets stuck sometimes. And this is the reason it is a client-side rendering website. If it is a server-side rendering website, your browser won't get stuck. But if you are opening a client-side rendering website, if your browser it cannot handle, it will stuck. That is the reason. Client-side rendering, server-side rendering. So now, how you will be using JavaScript in your front end? Again, the same thing, but in a different way. JavaScript for interactivity. For example, I'm scrolling here. I'm clicking on this button, I'm just enabling, disabling the things, animations. All these things are because of your JavaScript interactivity, because of this interactivity. Next is Ajax. Ajax stands for your asynchronous thing. I'll show you Ajax. This image will be better, I think. It's showing a dishwasher. Ajax JavaScript. Mostly for asynchronous purposes, we use Ajax technology. But nowadays, JavaScript has itself an asynchronous thing. So Ajax nowadays, people are not using it much. But when I was learning, Ajax used to be a big thing. But nowadays, yeah, Ajax is getting over because JavaScript has an inbuilt asynchronous thing, and also your React is much handles much more better than your Ajax. So for doing asynchronous things in your website, we used to have Ajax. Next is cross-browser compatibility, which is nothing but same website opening in different browsers. YouTube opening in Chrome, Brave, Microsoft Edge. That is nothing but your cross-browser compatibility or standard compliance. What is asynchronous? Is nothing but running two things at the same time. Doing two things at the same, two or more things at the same time. One side your website will be taking input. Let's take YouTube. Let's take YouTube. While rendering this page, it is also matching you your subscriptions, what to give and all. So it does two or more things at the same time. And also, yeah, we using this no need to refresh. And this is one more thing Ajax does. You no need to refresh the page every time. Good website for that. LinkedIn. I'll open LinkedIn. If I open LinkedIn also, see, one side it is opening my chat, one side it is doing this, multiple things. And also if I click on something like jobs, the top navigation bar, the chart remains the same. The chat and the top navigation bar remains the same, only the middle part changes. That is also because of Ajax. Yeah, cross browser is completed, right? Next is plugins. You can have different plugins that can be attached to your browser and JavaScript. Actually, all the extensions that you are using, right? For example, I use AdBlock, Grammarly, grepper and all these extensions. Actually, like if you go a step back, you're not attaching them to your browser, you're attaching them to JavaScript. Your browser has an inbuilt JavaScript code. These extensions are attached, these plugins are attached to your JavaScript code of browser. That is plugins. Like you can use lot of number of plugins extensions to your JavaScript. Next comes your frameworks. Framework is nothing but a set of rules or a set of steps to do a particular thing. For example, again, example of a chicken biryani. In chicken biryani, there is a framework. You need to do it in this way. Our south side it is different, north side it is different. Here it is different. One place it is different. But if you talk about the framework, I'm talking about framework. Chicken biryani means in the biryani chicken should be there. Then only we call it chicken biryani. That's a framework. Rice, basmati rice, biryani, chicken, that flavor, that is framework. But it can have different types. Like south is different, north is different. Here it is different. The thing is different. How they implement is different. But we have a framework, right? This is how it should be. So that is nothing but that is what in the same thing in JavaScript also we have. When we who is not fond of chicken biryani, I don't know. If any vegetarians here are there, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Deepika. I'm sorry about that. I should have not taken that example. I really apologize for that. Yeah. So yeah, where we are. Yeah, the same way. If you're building a React project, there is a framework. If you're building an Angular project, there is a framework. So framework is nothing but a set of instructions and rules that you need to follow to build a great application. If you follow them, you will be having a great application. And yeah, my apologies for all the vegetarians. I'm really sorry. So where we are, yeah, that is framework. Ah, uh, to give a bigger view of how a client front end and back end works, a client will be talking to web browser, will be sending google.com and youtube.com. It will be going to the browser. That browser connects to the server somewhere in California or Argentina, in India, in India, in Bangalore and Chennai also we have Google servers. We may connect to that server. That server has some built-in business logic. It will have the JavaScript code. It will have all the necessary code, and that code also connects have and has some storage. All this links together to give you a website. Yeah, React is a JavaScript framework. React is a JavaScript framework. Your React JS, Angular JS, or Node.js, everything is JavaScript. No. jQuery is also a framework. We can say jQuery is a framework, but some say it is a plugin. There's some things going on. Some say I get the same doubt. Like jQuery in internet, they say it is a framework, but in Stack Overflow, some places I see it as a library. So it is a framework. You can think as a framework. Now we'll be studying jQuery. I think not. I think not. jQuery also will not be learning. If possible, you will be learning Ajax, because when Ajax is there, jQuery is not needed. Uh, you can learn Ajax instead of jQuery, but once you started to learn React, Ajax is also not needed. Phew. So yeah. Now the usability of backend. Backend in the sense your browser, how it works in your browser. For every browser, there will be a JavaScript engine. A JavaScript engine. Only the JavaScript engine defines your browser. You tell me, like anyone, you tell me, Microsoft Edge is the latest one. When compared to Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge is the latest browser because it has released recently. They have revamped its entire technology. It is released recently. But how many of you are using Microsoft Edge instead of Google Chrome? How many of you are using Microsoft Edge instead of Google Chrome? Like, if any one of you are using, yeah, you can say. I think I need to create a poll for it. Both, sometime Google. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, the thing I wanted to say is Microsoft Edge has latest features, but Microsoft Edge there is a small tiny problem when compared to JavaScript engines, like how a Microsoft Edge handles websites and all. Chrome gets the upper hand. Why? Because of its JavaScript engine. Your Chrome has something called V8. Your Chrome has something called V8, and that is the same reason your Brave browser has also implemented V8 engine, because V8 engine is bit very fast and advanced. So Chrome is using V8 engine, which is a very best JavaScript browser engine. Brave is also using what do we say, V8 engine. But the problem with Edge is, my problem is, Internet Explorer used to have Chakra core. Internet Explorer, our old, it's not a good one, but it is our family. My internet, I started with Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer used to have Chakra core, which is a very basic JavaScript engine. Microsoft Edge also does what is, instead of changing the JavaScript engine, creating their own engine, they have again used Chakra core. They are again using Chakra. The JavaScript engine that you are using for Microsoft Edge is the same engine that you used in Internet Explorer. Same JavaScript engine. So the way Internet Explorer use it to handle websites, your Microsoft Edge also handles the website in same way. But Chrome, it is a bit advanced one, V8. Firefox has SpiderMonkey, Safari has JavaScript core. Even JavaScript core is also a good one. Yeah, even I do miss Internet Explorer. It's not the best one, but it is kind of family. Yeah. So yeah, let's do a small activity. I know you don't know what is a function, you don't know what are data types, you don't know what are operators, variables, and all. But try, at least give a try. Give a try. Let's now see what is JavaScript. Which one matches with what is JavaScript? A, B, C, D, E. Put it in the chat. C. Yeah, C is the right answer. A programming language that uses it to create interactive effects within web browsers. That is JavaScript. What do you think is a variable? Just give a guess. Even if you don't know, okay, just read it and tell me what do you think a variable is. I see a lot of different answers, but most of you are sticking with the D. The answer is D actually. Yeah. Variable is nothing but a symbol or a character that represents an action or a value. It is just a symbol that has some value. I'll tell you about variables, operators, and all, but just give a guess. No right or wrong answers, just give it. Just a fun game. What are operators? What do you think? Operators, the name operators, what comes to your mind? Nice. They're using a small thing to confuse you. Just I'm saying, they're using a small thing to confuse you. Some of you are saying A, some of you are saying E. Still it is coming. But I think it has to go with A. They're just confusing you, but yeah, it is A. Operators are nothing but your function declaration, but we call it function declaration. It has to be actually what are operators in the sense plus, minus, equal to, what we say, mathematical things are nothing but your operators. The mathematical things are nothing but your operators. But here they have given it as a function declaration. Let function fun, yeah. Okay, but yeah, nothing is matching with operators, so you can go with A. So yeah, next what are data types in JavaScript? Data types. Yeah, data types are your B's. B is right. Boolean, string, number, undefined, and null. And what is a function? Yeah, for what is a function? E is correct. Reusable blocks of code that perform specific tasks. Let's see the solution. Yeah, 5 is E. Let's see, 4 is A. No, this solution is wrong. Nowhere in the world data types can be function declaration. So yeah, 4A is wrong. The solution is wrong. 3D. Let me see. 3D is also wrong because operators are not a symbol or a character that represent an action or a value. It's not. Variables is B. Again, no. C. Okay, wait 1 second. One is C, that is right. If two, they're giving B, boolean, string, number, but they're data types. Yeah, solution is wrong. I'll let them know. I will let them know the solution is wrong. I guaranteed it is wrong. What you kept in the chat, the majority what you kept in the chat is right actually. I'll let them know. I'll immediately let them. Yesterday also I messaged them. Like yesterday during our activity, one of the things that you said is right, but in the solution it is given wrong. I have immediately messaged them. This also will let them know. But it's good thing you guys are correcting the material. You all are correct. Then the material you all are correct. So I'm happy for that. You all are correct actually. So yeah, coming back to your variables. Variables is nothing but it's like a container where you can store something. For example, x equal to red is something that is getting stored in x. It is getting stored in x. So it's just like a box. If you see a box here, some value or reference is placed and x is just refers it. Here I'll show you an example. When I say a is 2, when I say a is 2, whenever I call a, for example, I'm doing console.log a. I have written a equal to 2. Okay, I have written a equal to 2. Console.log a. Now, what do you think my output will be? Console.log is for printing outputs. What do you think the output will be? 3D is correct. Someone said. Here, plus and minus can represent an action, but it doesn't represent a value. Operators doesn't represent a value actually. It is a variable. That's why I'm getting confused here. Yeah. So yeah, coming back. Some say undefined. Let's run it and I'll show you. It's 2. Why? Because you have said a is equal to 2. You have said a is equal to 2. So whenever you're calling a, you will be getting 2. It's just like name, your own name, my name. My name is a variable. Monesh. Monesh defines me. I'm myself. Like that, your name represents you. My name represents me. Like that. It's just a naming. Uh, Sorry. Yeah. Many are saying operators D is correct. Operators 3, right? Okay, a variable cannot be a symbol. But then what is a variable? Variable, there's nothing given related to a variable here. They said 2 is B, right? Then what are data types? Variable is something that holds something. Can't this correct? Yeah, variable is something that holds something. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Variable is 2 is B. I'll ask them and I'll let you know because this is a bit confusing. You want me to zoom it? Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's come back. Let's go to the topics now. So that is a variable. Now there will be two types of variables. One is global variable and another is local variable. Global variable and a local variable. Global variable in the sense that and for the entire code, for example, if I say a equal to 2, this is a global variable. This is a global variable. But if I write something like this, oh, it is reading. Wait, let me. That's what I want. Yeah. If you see here, if you see here, uh, Okay, still someone talking about the activity. Yeah, leave the activity for some time. We'll get back to it. Anyways, no one still have not taught you operators, variable, and all. So we'll see it afterwards. Leave the activity for now. Yeah, this is correct actually. Semicolon is not needed in JavaScript. Semicolon is not required. Automatically it understands. If I run the code, can you tell me why a has not changed to 5 and it has still 2? Can anyone tell me? Someone has put a equal to 5 is local variable. That is right. A equal to 5 is local variable. That is the reason we are not getting a as 5 here. So let me tell you what is happening. Here we call it global variable. Here we call it local variable. Global variable, local variable, what it is. If you are writing outside, like it is really outside on the top and it's not inside something, it is called a global variable. It is called a global variable. But if you are writing something in a blocked, if you see this is a block, it starts here, this block starts here, this block ends here, this is called a local variable. This is called a local variable. And now see what happens if I write the same console.log inside the block. It is 5. Now from where we are calling matters. From the outside, if you are calling a variable, global variable takes place. If you're calling it inside a block, local variable takes place. So that is the difference between a global variable and a local variable. Global variable outside, local variable to that block only. It leaves to that block. For example, let's take a common name, Ravi. Let's take a common name, Ravi. Inside the home, if someone calls Ravi, there will be only one person. That person will be called. If outside there are people walking here and there, and if you say Ravi, like 5 people will be looking at me. So that is the difference. Global variable can be called from the outside, but local variable can be only called from the inside. That is the difference. If I write the again console.log outside, it is again 2. Sir, VS Code. Yeah, these are just I'm showing for examples. Now in VS Code, if you want to run your code, like how I'm running using the start button, you can install an extension called Code Runner. You can install an extension called Code Runner. When you install an extension called Code Runner, here there will be an option of play. If you run this button, automatically you will be get the output. Code Runner. The extension name is Code Runner. Here you will be getting a symbol. So that is the thing. Global local is completed, right? Yeah. Next is how you declare variables in JavaScript. Sir, use Go live is for HTML. Sir, remove a equal to 2 and use console.log. You want me to remove a equal to 2? Okay. Then you'll not be getting anything. It says a is not defined because you're calling it from outside, and outside there is no variable called a. So it's not defined. Yeah, you can use Ripple it also, but try to use Visual Studio Code only because you will be doing a lot of projects in Visual Studio Code later. No. This code runner is running your code only because of your Node.js, JavaScript, your Node.js. If you don't have Node.js in your computer, this run button won't work. Only if you have Node.js, then only this run button will work. Otherwise, it won't work. So yeah, how to declare your variables? Variables can be declared in 3 ways. One is var, let, const. Var, let, const. Remember var, let, const, but never try to use a var. Never try to use a var. Why? I will show you. Var a equal to 2. Okay, var a equal to 5. Now see what happens. What's my output? Like, look at the screen and tell me, no problem. Yeah, Node.js and VS Code both have to be there. Can you tell me why this time 5 and not 2? Actually, the output should be 2, right? Previously, just now I have shown you. When I've shown you, the output is 2. But now it is coming 5. Can you tell me why? I have given the outside global variable as 2 only. Inside I have given 5. But here console.log outside I'm doing, but still I'm getting 5. Why? Local variable is getting called. Can anyone say why? Can anyone answer it? Unique memory share overridden. Where is the function scope? Override maybe. Yeah, what you're saying is exactly right. What is happening is var doesn't see whether you're doing it inside or outside or nothing. It is actually a functional scope. Function scope in the sense, even though you're writing it here, it will be called. If I will be called. But if I do the same thing for letter, 2 will be called. 2 will be called. No, it's not the bigger value. It's not the bigger value. For example, if I write var, and if I write 5 here and if I write 2 here, still it will be replaced with 2. Now I have shown you var, I have shown you letter. Both the things I have shown you. Which one do you think is better? Var is better or let is better? If you are saying let is better, tell me why let is better. If you are saying var is better, tell me why var is better. Const I will explain you. After let and var, I will come to const. If you are saying let, give me some example like why let is better. If you are giving var, tell me why var is better. And change the value of net let because it potential bugs contains. So okay, I see. I'll tell you my own experience that I did it in my previous company. What we have done is there is a global variable. We used to use var at that time. At that time, ECMAScript 6 was not introduced yet. Our company didn't use ECMAScript 6. ECMAScript 6 instead of var it came let, but at that time let is not there. We used to use var. What happened is there is a variable called user login. User login, I think so. User login. There is a variable called user login, and it was set to 0. It was set to 0. Then I took the project. I started working in. Right? Project means it will not be 100 lines, 200 lines. It will be like 5,000 lines, 6,000 lines. It will be like that. So somewhere I have created a function. In that I have written var user login. Without knowing, I have written the same variable name. Without knowing, I have written the same variable name. I have kept it to 1 because in that function the user has already logged in. I have kept user login equal to 1. What happened, if one person got logged in, for everyone it shows logged in. If one, for example, if I logged into an application into an app, the other person no need to log in. Automatically he will be logged into my account. That happened. It became very problematic because of this. So what happens is like somewhere you have used the variable, but in the function you are again using the same variable name without knowing. It creates a big problem because of this uncertainty. So then we have used this ECMAScript concept to let. But when I changed it to let, everything worked fine. Why? Because this user login equal to 1 stores only in that function. After that function it will be removed, but this user login equal to 0 remains throughout the project. So that is the use of let. Now even if you ask many developers, they won't use var. Some of them even fear var. Even I have a bit of fear for using var. I don't use var at all. I always use let. If you open any of my JavaScript projects, every time it will be let only. Even I have opened my older projects and I've changed var to let. I have a small fear of var because of this uncertainty. So that is why, that is the difference between var and let. Both functionality wise same, but it is block scoped, it is function scoped. Function scoped in the sense, you can, it will be replaced. Here let won't be replaced, the block won't be replaced. Next comes your const. Const means if I say const user equal to user login equal to 0, that's it. You cannot replace it. This, like this way, I think we can do. With again declare, yeah, this is getting error. See, assignment to constant variable. Once in the code, if I said const user login equal to 0, that's it, fixed. You cannot change it anywhere. You cannot change it anywhere. Once I said const pi equal to 3.14, it is fixed. You cannot change it anywhere in the code. That's all. That is why we use const. So three type of declarations. One is var, let, and const. My suggestion would be don't use var at all. Use let and const. Use only let. Use only const. Let you cannot, you can change multiple times. Const you cannot change multiple times. So that is all of let, const, and this thing. Where we are. So this activity. Wait. Write a program that asks the user to enter the name, age, and favorite color. Store each of these values in a separate variable. Then using string interpretation, no, don't do this activity right now. It's a bit advanced for you. Try this. Try this on your own. Not now. After the class, try this activity on your own, because right now I think it is a bit advanced for you, taking input and all. Read this. Read this solution. Try to understand it. This code won't run in your Visual Studio Code. It will throw an error. I'll tell you in the later classes why. Because Visual Studio cannot handle prompt. There is something called prompt. To take user input, we use prompt, and Visual Studio cannot handle it. You need to copy this and paste it in here, console. Paste it here. Here it will be running. Like name, something, give some age, color, give some like green or something. Yeah. Here it will run, but in your Visual Studio Code you will be getting an error. Sir, when we not use let var const, but also declare the variable. Sir, when we not use let var const, var and const also will declare the variable, but do not use var. Var, because of that uncertainty thing, sometimes you will be getting errors. Use let. Forget var exists. Simply remember why you should not use var and use let every time. We can do this using prompt. Yeah, we can use this prompt, but prompt will not be used in Visual Studio Code. Why prompt is not? Yeah, before going forward, if you have any doubt till here, you can ask me. You can put it in the chat. And why I told var cannot be used in Visual Studio is because prompt is a object of browser. Prompt is something that is related to browser, not Visual Studio Code. So that's why Visual Studio Code does not have the power to handle it. Yeah, var is outdated. Yes. Instead of var only, ECMAScript introduced let. In VS Code for user input, I'll tell you later. In the coming class, I'll tell you what we have to do for user input. As you say, let is replaceable. Like let me show you once. Yeah, in this kind of scenario, you cannot replace. For example, user login is still be 0. User, sorry. Still I have to go back. Okay. Like this kind of block thing, it will not be replaced. It will not be replaced again with a equal to 2. But here you can write a equal to 8. Now the output will be 8. Even though you said let a equal to 5, you are again replacing again it with a equal to 8. The output will be a equal to 8. See, output is 8. It is replaceable, but it is not replaced with the block. It is not replaced with the block. It is replaced. Global can replace global. Local can replace local. Equal to 5. Why 8? Why not 5? Because you're overriding it. You're in the first line. Again, I'm saying, or else let's go line by line. Let's go line by line. I'll again tell you the concept of let and where. See, we have let, right? A equal to, let's say, 9 now. JavaScript goes line by line. JavaScript goes line by line. So I'll put a console.log here also. Plus inside the block plus outside the block. Now you'll understand. See, JavaScript goes line by line. JavaScript goes line by line. What is first line? What is A? You put it in the chat. I'll make you understand. What is first line? What is the value of A? 5. First line says A equal to 5. So A is 5. We all agreed on that. We all agreed on that. Second line, there is nothing. Come to third line. Now, you have a box. You have a small box. You have kept 5. Okay. Now I'm saying A equal to 9. A equal to 9. In that box, only one number can be fitted. Now you need to keep 9. What you will do? But why 9 is nothing? You have here I have written already A, right? You have already only one time you need to write let A. You have no need to write every time. Globally you have already this is called initialization. I have already initialized it once, so I no need to write again let second time. There's no need to, I no need to write it. Yeah, there is a box. There is already a number called 5. You want to put 9. You will be removing the 5. You will be putting 9 in it. You will be putting 9 in it, right? We all agree on that. We all agree on that. And why I have not written let here again is because only one time you need to do initialization. No need to do 2 or 3 times. Here you have written let. That is fine. So equal to 9. Now come to the next line. Come to fifth line. It is nothing. Come to sixth line. Come to sixth line. Now again I'm saying A equal to 2, but I'm saying global local. I'm saying, yeah, it's override. Throwing or override, yeah, something. I'm here. A is now. I'm again writing A. Whether this is a local or global. So when I'm using a letter, I have to take another cardboard box, or I have to use the previous cardboard box. Another. I have to take again. I'll explain it from start. We have to take another cardboard box. So now we have 2 cardboard boxes of same name A. One is global cardboard box. One is local cardboard box. This global cardboard box has 9 in it. This local cardboard box has a 2 in it. Has a 2 in it. 2 in it. Now finally tell me, what is the value of global cardboard box? What is the value of local cardboard box? Oh, sorry, what is the value of global cardboard box and local cardboard box? 9 and 2. So here, let me run the code. The inside local cardboard box has 2. The outside one has 9. Global is 9. And some were asking what is the use of 9. If there is no use, I'm just showing you that it can be replaced. It can be replaced. Global can replace global. For example, if I write here again A equal to 6. Now what will be my final output? Final like here, will it still be 9 or it will be changed? Now it will be inside will be 2, outside will be 6. I'm just replacing. It's just an example. There's no use of it. But if you do the same thing with var, now what will be my inside the block and outside the block? Can anyone answer? Yeah, it will be 2 and 2. Why? Because var doesn't care if it is a local variable or a global variable. It will not take another cardboard box, single cardboard box. It will take single cardboard box, and it will just replace it. What is the last value will always be the final value. So just remove left inside block. If you don't write anything, it will be var. By default, it becomes var. By default, it becomes var. This is var of a now. In JavaScript, if you have not initialized a variable, it will be var. It will be var. See, again 2 came. So yeah, if anyone not understood, let me know again. A string and integer are concatenated by using this plus symbol. This plus symbol. So this one is answered. Hari, have you understood, Hari? You in between you said to re-explain. Did you understood it? This one is done. No. Okay, this is done. This is done. This is done. This is done. No, right. So there you put 5 value of a global value and 2 in a local. Then why it shows 2 only in console? Where for let? No, you're asking for let or where, Hari? Snehal understood, right? Thanks for that. Hari, can you message me like you're asking for let or const? Because the outputs will be different. For let it will be different. For var it will be different. If it is a let, inside it will be 2, outside it will be 5. But for if you write let and var both, yeah, let it is same. For let inside block it is 2 because I have given 2. Outside it is 5. So outside it is 5. If I do var, it will be 2 for both the things because this value will be replaced with this value. Yeah, 2. If I use var, the final 2 will be both in and out. If I use let, this is different, this is different. When you put 5 value of a global, it shows 5 also, no? In var, that is the problem. In var, that is the problem. That's why I told to use let every time. If let 5 and 2 both will come. 2 and 5 both will come. So that's the thing of this. Yeah, next is your data types. Since still how much is there? Yeah, we're almost done. So data types. I think it print address of this variable. Then I think they will be understood. Yeah, I should have done that. Why we use plus n to just in the output to get the number and the string both. I'll talk about this concatenation later. First, I'll complete this data types. In JavaScript, you have 2 types of data types. One is primitive and one is non-primitive. Primitive in the sense very pure, purest form. Non-primitive in the sense they are not pure. They have to be again built with these things. Object is built with object can be built with string, number, boolean, null, undefined. Array can contain string, number, boolean, null, undefined. Function can contain string, number, boolean, null, and undefined. Primitive are the purest form. Non-primitive are not the purest form. What are primitive data types? Primitive data types, you have some types: numbers, strings, booleans, null, undefined. Numbers means your numbers, mathematical numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is your numbers. Strings in the sense words, names, characters, Those are called strings. Hello world, alma better, Monesh, full stack. These are all strings. Boolean means only two values, true, false. Only two values for a boolean. Remember, boolean means only boolean is like a switch. Either it can be true, either it can be false. That's it. Boolean is like a switch, true or false. Null means there is something, but it is empty. Think like a lunchbox. Lunchbox, but inside no lunch. A box is there, but inside empty. An object is there, inside empty. That is a null. Null means something is there, but it is empty. Undefined means we don't know what is there also. There is a small difference between null and undefined. Null means something is there. I know what it is. But inside it, nothing, empty. That is null. Undefined means I don't even know what that object is. That is undefined. So yeah, these are your primitive data types: number, string, boolean, null, and undefined. Your non-primitive data types are your arrays, which looks something like this. More of arrays, objects, and functions in the coming classes. I will tell you. We have separate classes on that. Array has a separate class. Object has a separate class. Function has a separate class. So array looks something like this. For now, understand how array looks. Array is a collection of different elements. Like it can contain numbers, it can contain names, it can contain strings, booleans. It can be mixed data type also. Array, that is array. Object looks something like this. Array looks something like this. Object looks like this, and functions looks like this. More about these things I'll tell you in the coming classes detailed, because the explanation of these things takes more time. A symbol and begin is also primitive, but they are not given in the material. Actually, there are a lot of primitive data types. I'll show you. Primitive data. Yeah, you have object and symbol also, but yeah, it is not given here. Maybe they thought it's not important. Even I have not used a symbol anytime. So yeah, these are primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Just remember them: object, array, and functions. In the coming classes, we're gonna see it. Non-primitive in the sense they are not the purest form of data types. They make use of some other data types. For example, this is an array. Can you see any strings here? Any strings or numbers here? Tell me yes or no, that is fine. Are you able to see any numbers and strings here in this array? Yes, right? Because this is a string. Mayank is a string. 30 is a number. So that's why they call non-primitive. They are not purest. They make use of something. They keep something else. It is a collection of numbers. It is a collection of strings. Like they are not purest. They are again mixed with something else. Like here also, if you can see object, it is a combination of again letters and strings. Numbers and strings. Numbers are there, strings are there. Here also the same thing. Numbers are there, and strings also can be here, but they are not written. Numbers and strings both can be in a function. So function is a block of code that performs a specific task. Above we have seen. I'll talk about more of functions in the coming class. Do not worry. Yeah, the slash represents comment. That slash represents comment. Here, this represents an object. Object has something called key value pair. It's like your roll number and your name. In school time, we used to have, right? Roll number 27, Monesh Shankar, like that. So roll number 34, name, Mayank, age 27, city, Delhi. Or key pair, key value pair. Key, a value. Array is just a collection of values. That's just like a bunch. But more about this in the coming class. So yeah, the last thing of today's class is conversion, type conversion. Almost over. This one I'll be giving you to homework. So yeah, let's see what is this conversion. What is this conversions in JavaScript? I'll show you with example. What is my first data type? in line number 1, what is my data type? Put it in the chat. I'll make you understand conversions much more simpler. What is my first line number 1 data type? I'm asking data type. I'm not asking whether it is let or where. Data type. Think and answer. Maybe if you're getting confused, a string always represents with this double quotes. String is always represented with the double quotes. Just I'm saying, string is always represented with the double quotes. I know some of you may, that's why I asked. Some of you may think it is a number because of the value 10. But since that number is written in double quotes, like double quotes, it becomes a string. It becomes a string. So the first line data type is string. It is a string. Now what is this one? In line number 2, can you tell me what is this? What data type is this? Yeah, single quote is also a string. Number. Yeah, you're right. This 5 is there, right? This 5, it is a number. This 5 is a number. Now in line number 2, we are adding a numstr is a string. We already know that numstr is a string. This is a number. Now we are trying to add a string and a number. We are trying to add a string and a number. A string and a number. So we have, let me write it down for you. We have 10, which is a string, plus number 5. Number 5. What do you think the output will be? And what is the output's data type? Some of you are saying 105, which is exactly right. And the data type is string. That is right. It becomes a string. Why? I will show you. If I run the code, it is a string. Let me also show you the output. So it is string and a 105. It is a string and 105. Why? Why? Because JavaScript has this kind of conversion, type conversion. What are this type conversion? Type conversions are nothing but whenever you're trying to add, whenever you're trying to perform some operations on two different data types, like a string and a number, number and a boolean and a string, like different null and undefined. If you are doing operations on two different types of data types, only primitive data types, not non-primitive. If you're trying to do operations between two different types of primitive data types, then there are some like JavaScript doesn't know like what to do. You have a string and a number. Should I convert to number or should I convert it to a string? So we have a table. We have a table. The table is nothing but this table. Type conversion table in JavaScript. You need to once read it, understand it, remember it. This table. Whenever you're trying to do a perform an operation between a number and a string, it becomes a string. Like that, you need to understand this table. You need to understand this table. So for example, take 1, 2, 3. If this 1, 2, 3 is converted to a string, it is 1, 2, and 3. If it is converted to a number, it is 1, 2, 3. The best example I can give here is true. Let's take true. True is a boolean. When it is converted to a string, it is still true. True. But when true is converted to number, it becomes 1. 1 represents on. False represents off. So it is 0. So you need to once read this table, understand it. We have a type conversion table for that. And always when you're trying to add a number and a string, the output will be always string. Remember, the output will be always string. Now, answer me one thing. Anywhere in the code, have I said JavaScript that my output should be in string? Answer me this. Like anywhere in this code, have I said JavaScript that my output, my final answer should be in string? Anywhere I have said it? No, right? I have not said it. Sir, explain how the output is 105. It's simple actually. I'll just once explain the output 105. 10 plus 5. So Who asked me this? Actually? Pawan. Pawan, if you have a 10, it's a string. Consider that as a string. Like instead of 10, you can take anything. Like if you take Monesh, a string can be anything. Can you add a string like something like Monish plus 5? Can you say what is Monish plus 5? It's not mathematics. So it will just concatenate the things, like it will just add it at the end. It will just add it at the end. The same thing happened for 10 and 5 also. If I run this code, it becomes Monish 5. The same thing for 10 also, even though it is a number, but JavaScript doesn't know it is a number. You have said it is a string in a double quotes, so it is a string only. So 10 5 gets attached at the end, that's it. 105, it's not 105 actually, it's 105. It's not a number. 105 is not a number. This is not a number, it is a string. 105, that's it. It's not a number. 105. So yeah, you said no, right? All of you said no. This is called implicit conversion. This is called implicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion in the sense, I no need to say what my output should be. Automatically JavaScript will understand, it will change, it will convert, and it will give me the output. That is called the implicit type conversion. What is explicit type conversion? Explicit type conversion in the sense, you have to tell the code to convert. For example, let's take this 10. We all know it is a number, but we have given it in double quotes, so it became a string. Now I, as a programmer, I will change it into a number. How? There are some functions for it, like I can write number, and I can just open and close this brackets. Now if I run the code, what my output is? My output is 105 or 15. Why? Last time it is 105, but now it is actual 10 plus 5, 15. Why? Because because it is converted, because of this conversion. Now yes, it is also called typecasting. This is called explicit type conversion. This is called explicit type conversion. We are telling the code, this is string, but please convert it to a number. Please convert it to a number. So when I convert it to a number, it is no longer a string, it becomes a number. It becomes a normal number. So 10 plus 5 is your 15, and it will become a number. That is called explicit type conversion. In explicit type conversion, you yourself can tell the code to convert like number. See, if you see a number, and you can also convert into parse int, parse float. Parse int in the sense, if for example, I'll show you the code. There is also some of the things like parse int, parse float. Parse int means integer. Integer means only 20 will be your output. Only the decimal left side value will be your output. Parse float will be your complete output, 20.01. That is float with decimal. Math.floor also gives you 20. Math.floor also gives you 20. Math.floor also works the same way as parse int. There's also something called math.seal, which will give you 21. 21. So like that, there are a lot of ways you can convert. These are not the only ways. If you go to internet and if you search for JavaScript type conversion, you'll find many what we say functions which you can use like this, like that. So what about number.parseInt? Yeah, parseInt I've just shown you right now. Just now I've shown you parseInt 20.01. The output will be 20, because integer in the sense left side of decimal value, which is 20. So that is all about your conversions. You have to read this table, understand it, what happens what. For example, your null when you're converting to number, it becomes 0. practically also I can show you. uh, if I write null here and if I convert into number of null, it will be 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. The output will be 5 now. 5. Because number of null is 0. Parse means reading. Parse means reading. Parse int means read it, convert to integer. Parse int means read integer. Parse is like reading. So this is the table. It will be in your material. You can just have a look at it. Or even if I zoom, it is setting itself. So yeah, type of is used to find the data type of that variable. Type of is used to find the data type of that variable, whether it is a number, a string, what it is, it will tell. That's why when I write type of result, it gave me number. Result is a number here. Type of is used to find the data type of that variable. So yeah, this code practice is for you. Look at the solutions, no problem, but try to do them in your Visual Studio Code. So yeah, till here, if anyone having any doubts, you can ask me, or else yeah, we are done. If you have any doubts, put it in Q&A. I will have a look at the Q&A now. In VS Code, it will not work, Ajmal. If you are saying prompt is not defined, it will not work in VS Code. Showing download in VS Code. Once you restart your system a month, that should work. If you have installed Node.js in VS Code, if it is not able to find it, just to restart your system. This one, yes, this one answered. So someone replied that in schedule regarding at the end, I told you that I'll be showing you this recording, right? I'll be showing you, or else I can show you now itself. View schedule. Yeah, here for this is how it looks for me. Click on view schedule. Here, see, getting started with programming. If I click on watch replay, I can see that recording, watch replay. And like that, if you go to the top, for me till here only, but yeah, I think I can see my old one, but I don't know why. Maybe. So yeah, you can see my recording from here. You can see the recording from watch replay. Abhishek, use code runner. Abhishek, use code runner, or else in Visual Studio Code, open terminal here. Type. Wait, terminal is loading. I think I have to close and open it. You can use code runner or you can use terminal also here. Let me again open my VS Code. VS Code got stuck. Yeah. You can just type node my first. Sorry. Why it is going to MV1? Okay, this doesn't know where the file is. Yeah, open the CMD in that particular location and run it. Because I have created it in a desktop, it is not recognizing my file. But yeah, you can just run it using terminal or install this extension called Code Runner. Try this code once. See the solution, no problem for me. In summary, we have learned what is JavaScript, different data types, why we use JavaScript for front end, back end, cross-browser compatibility, all that we have learned. And in the coming classes, you will be seeing object-oriented programming, asynchronous programming, error handling, and all. Yeah, best practice is again the same thing as previous classes, just practicing reading and all. For more knowledge, you can visit this website, Guru 99.